back to We Care a Lot. I'm half of the podcast, Mel.
And I'm the other half, Sam.
Hey guys, what's up? This is feeling a lot more normal now.
Yes. We did get one comment of concern of where Glow Up or Get Out went. It is still here in our hearts.
In our hearts.
But we have moved on from the name. And we hope you come with us on this journey. But
it is what it is, man. And
it's gone.
If you're still confused, Glowing Hour is a separate episode that goes up on Fridays. So We Care a Lot is on Wednesdays, and then Glowing Hour will be on Fridays.
Yes.
All right. If you're watching on YouTube, I feel like I have to address my haircut.
What? Why?
I don't know. I just feel some type of way about it. I'm always like, hair will grow back. And it's like, I don't dislike my hair. Okay. It's just like, it's an adjustment.
It is an adjustment always.
I feel like more grown up, but also like feel like I look little. Like I look like a baby. So I'm having like dysphoric.
That's hard. That's hard to address. Because you were on the opposite spectrums there.
Yeah.
So what you think is just like it's short hair so you feel young.
Yeah, it feels youthful.
But the actual styling you feel like is old or something.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like somewhere.
But that's like a good place to be, is it not?
Yeah, I guess. Also, thoughts on me cutting more fringe bangs and just going full blown like.
I say yeah. Fuck it. You personally like doing it though?
I've seen so many TikToks, and we'll get into.
You're really confident about that.
But yeah, it doesn't seem hard. Like, I'm not gonna cut the whole thing. Like, it's just literally taking like these middle pieces
and a little shorter,
chopping them up, and then having like just like literally like fringy bangs, like nothing crazy. I don't want you know what I mean? A full straight up cross bang, a full bang, as we say.
Got it.
Anyway, that's the addressing of my haircut. Because it's much shorter.
Yeah, it is actually. Like, you did cut a lot off.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't cut that much, to be quite honest.
No, your hair looks the same.
It looks the same.
But healthy. Like, giving healthy.
And, like, the roots are the correct color again.
Yeah.
After washing it once, I was like, okay.
Oh, I washed it?
I'm fine again.
Yeah.
I felt like it's always shocking
intense.
The first time, because you, like... Not that the roots are... Not like there's any color there, but you know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
No, I feel that.
Feels better now.
Hair.
Anyways, not at all the topic
Not
today.
at all the topic. We're going to be talking about... Also, I've went on TikTok about this, like, subject. And I feel like a lot of people have a problem with the wording chronically online.
Oh, really?
That they say it's, like, ableist. Because, like, the word chronic means, like...
Oh, I see.
You see what I'm saying? I don't agree. Necessarily. I see where they're coming from.
I do. I see it.
I see it. And if that's bothersome to you that we're gonna say the word chronically on, like, say the phrase or the term. Just the term chronically online, if that is bothersome or you feel that we are being ableist, I apologize, but I don't think it's all the way there for me. Like, I don't...
It kind of is reminding me of, like, when Demi Lovato was mad at the Froyo place.
Yeah. Like, I think the word chronic... I don't know why that made me laugh, because, like, people say, like chronic, like weed. Anyway.
Oh, see, I don't even know that. Chronic tacos? Do we have a problem?
Chronic can mean, like, it's an issue. And, like, when we're talking about...
Issue tacos.
Issue tacos.
Right. No, yeah.
You
Chronically
know what I mean?
online. It's like...
It's just a phrase or, what was the other word used?
Term.
A term that is, like, saying that this thing is used too much or, like... Yeah, I think, like, the word chronic...
Should I look it up?
Yeah, sure. Let's just do it.
Let's go on a tangent. Persist of an illness. Persisting for a long time or constantly recurring. Fair enough. Of a person having an illness persisting for a long time or constantly recurring, of a problem long-lasting and difficult to eradicate. Example, the school suffers from chronic overcrowding. I guess
sense.
Chronically online, you're always online and it's hard to change that.
Yeah.
To eradicate that behavior.
Clearly, there's this non-new...
I'm like, are these the chronically online people?
I think in itself, yeah, that sounds like chronically online, you know? I feel like if you talk to somebody who's, like, not on TikTok or not on, like, social media a lot and you bring up all of these... Sure, you can call them bigots, you can call them ignorant, whatever you want.
The people not online?
Not online. But to an extent, like, these people don't know all of these, like, terms and things that are supposed to be, like, politically correct. You know what I mean?
Obviously there's a limit to that. Like, you can't just go around saying shit that everyone knows you can't say anymore.
Right.
But there's also just, like, really nuanced topics that are, like, why?
Like,
how was I supposed to know that?
Like, I'm sorry I didn't keep up because I'm not online.
Literally.
So, that was kind of more of, like, a little disclaimer that we will be saying the word chronically online probably a lot. And if that bothers you, I apologize in advance, I guess. But I don't see the problem in saying the word chronically online, is all I'm trying to say. You know?
And if
I can see where you're coming from.
Another really strong viewpoint about it, I guess maybe let's talk about it.
Yeah, talk about it. Tell me why we're wrong. All right. But anyway, so the term chronically online it's just funny to me because I feel like that in itself is like you're probably chronically online. Like knowing
like
what it is.
Knowing what it is, you're like, babe, you're online. Huh?
You're online.
Yeah, minimum. You're online. Are you chronically online? We're not 100% sure, but someone has tried to roast someone else. Yeah. And you saw that.
Yeah.
Online.
So it's just basically the term kind of referencing people who have or go online so much that they only know that it's kind of like...
Those are the rules they live by.
Yeah.
Online rules.
Yeah.
An online world, online society, like online.
It's also like being inside the joke of it all.
Yes.
Chronically online.
Like, oh my god, did you see that TikTok? And it's like, no.
No, yeah.
You're not chronically online.
Clearly.
If you say no to a TikTok idea, you're probably not chronically online.
Yeah.
I think, like, the most, like, when I first heard of this, it was the Julia Fox situation. When she commented on some girl's TikTok. I forget the actual topic, but she had commented something thinking...
It was like, I think it was we have a different...
I think it was like a dick, but she called it mascara.
Also, I think it, like, okay, chronically online, we're clearly probably not online as much because, like, I remember as it being a man.
Maybe it's a different video.
Like, the video where he was, like, he was talking about
his
somebody touching his mascara.
Oh, see, that's probably just a different video, though. That Julia Fox didn't comment on. Or maybe she didn't
No, she I think it was only one. That's why, like, I don't know which one's which. We got it fucked up. One of us has it fucked up. But
either way,
there was mascara.
The dick equals mascara, apparently. And
Online.
She said something along the lines of, like, oh, what are you talking about? I love that mascara. Or some shit.
No, she said, I don't care about your mascara. Or no, she said, I don't feel bad for you. Or something like that. It's just mascara. Like, basically, it's like, because it's just mascara. She's is not chronically online, where she doesn't know the term on TikTok, mascara is what is that? Lipstick.
Same vibe.
Same vibe. Is not that word. And so, like, it's...
The people try to cancel her for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit.
She's like, holy fuck, I did not know. Like, I'm sorry, clearly I would never talk about somebody getting SA'd in that way.
See, even SA'd. Like there's so many people who would be like, what did you just say?
Put two and two together, girl.
But that's the thing. Like, just even the little things we know. Like, sex. You can't say sex on TikTok. So, like...
Yeah, there's, like, all these words.
S3X people will say or whatever instead.
Or like...
Which sounds easy, but...
I feel like towards the beginning of TikTok, maybe, like, in, like... Or even just, like, in COVID times of TikTok, like, people would say... weed, they would spell it like OUID or something like that. Just like that kind of stuff is what we're talking about being like chronically online. You knowing those terms means you're probably chronically online.
Yeah. And I think that's like the, not to say like lighter end of things, but like I think like the heavier side of being chronically online is just like people who take things just way too far. Like way too like literal. Like you can't even... Like, I'm like, am I getting old? Because now I'm starting to sound like the fucking boomers.
Literally. I'm like,
but like, they're taking it so serious. And I'm like, I really do hate it when people say, oh, no one can take a joke anymore. I'm like, well, that's like not the case. Like, it's not that no one can take a joke. But there are genuinely people on the internet and in real life, obviously.
Yeah.
But people who just don't know how to like, okay, It's okay. It's okay. We don't have to be, like, so fucking all the time and tight and wound.
I think it's also maybe the difference of, like, us growing up in a time where we have seen, like, both sides of the internet, where one felt so jokey all the time and everything was a joke. And, like, problematically sometimes, but it was a joke, even though, like, now we've learned and have gone with society and thinking, like, okay, there was a lot of bigoted shit that we have, like, consumed. Let's not do that again. But now, like, we're also in the extreme polar opposite, where it seems like everything is kind of being, like, watched over and censored. And so I think us specifically, like, late Gen Zs, early millennials, or I guess
or
it's, like, backwards around.
Whatever, you guys know.
You know what I mean. Like, the Zillennials.
The 25-year-old-ish age people.
Which I think is most of you guys who are listening, because we check our analytics
or whatever.
But I feel like most of us kind of feel that way, where we kind of, like, remember what it used to be like. Not necessarily missing it, but just, like, acknowledge it. And then we're on this other end, we're like, yeah, don't say stupid shit. Don't be doing dumb shit on the internet or in person. But, like, we're kind of just sitting here like, okay, but when can we, like, realize that somebody is not being for real? And,
like, being fucking for real, chronically online in that phrase too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
There does need to be a balance, but, like, I don't know why something in that whatever you were saying sparked me to think of this video I saw yesterday of this couple pretending to feed homeless people. Did you see it? Pretending.
How do you pretend to feed homeless people?
They put in the bed of their truck, like, a tarp, and then cooked ramen in the bed of their truck, like, tons of ramen, which I'm like, why'd you have to do it that way? You could have just had cup noodles and tea kettles, but
okay,
do it the unsanitary way. So then they pull up to a park, and there's this guy laying there with a sign, and it said, need, $, need money, whatever. And he's laying there, and then they're like, oh man, like, get a bowl of ramen. They have paper bowls, which is stupid. I'm like, what's he, like, it's falling apart. Anyways. So he gets one bowl, then he gets a second bowl. He's like, here, have a second one. Like, man, you're really hungry. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are these comments? And then he goes to the girl and he's like, babe, do you have cash? Can we give him cash? And she's like, oh, it's just like, they're so acting. And it's like all for the name of clout. Like, all for the name of being like, oh, we went viral. Like, even if it was like, yeah, people found out it was fake, but, like, we went viral. It's like, what do you get out of that?
That's so...
Like, so many things in that.
So many things.
But
I think, like, I am an avid fucking watcher of, like, kindness on TikTok. I literally, like, make myself cry. I'll, like, watch one in the bathroom while, like, Logan and Sam are in the kitchen just, like, chilling. And I come back and I'm like, guys, I'm sobbing. So, like, I get the appeal, but, like, to fake it, and I understand maybe not all of those are real, but to fake it to that extreme just for the views, just for,
like, genuinely just for views, because what else?
And I mean, I guess we always talk about, like, you can't be canceled until you cancel yourself. So it's like, I don't know. I just...
You want to cancel them?
No, I don't want to cancel them, but it's just, like, kind of that thing where it's like, people do anything, even almost, like, get bashed for the shit that they're doing just to be talked about. It's like the same situation of, like, no press is bad press kind of thing, because, like, you'll just get attention regardless. But why can't we just be fucking over that? Like, move on. It's just, I guess, like, because we're here talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
I don't know their names, but,
yeah,
you know, still.
Even if I did, I would not give you
But
them.
someone might go look it up and find it. But, yeah, I think, like... God, I feel so old. I don't like it. But I feel like...
You're like, every time something's about to come out of my mouth.
Literally, the generation beneath us just doesn't... Oh, I hate it. I hate these words that are about to come out of my mouth. But they just, like, don't get it. They grew up just, like, online. So, of course, they're chronically online. And I think it's hard because being in the middle of all this, like, generationally, I feel like I know what it's like to be blamed for shit as a generation, but I also know what it's like to, like, hate on the generation above and below. Yeah. So I'm like, it's not their fault that they are the way they are. Those things happen to them, and that's how they grew up. they had a computer and a phone. Like, what are we supposed to do about that? That's just the way it is.
And beyond that, though, like, they have had to, they've learned that, like, validation comes through your social presence.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's the majority of people who are chronically online. Maybe, like, the ableism aspect that people were trying to bring up was, like, was it just the word itself? Or was it that, like, people
no, it was the word
online
chronic.
Are people who are...
Well, no, they were saying, like, chronically online is an ableist term because you should be saying, like, what's like, it's, like...
Often.
Not even often, but, like...
Detrimentally online or something.
Something like that. Like, it has to be something else because if you're saying chronically, it's, like, an ableist term.
I just hope, as we have grown and seen both sides of situations and, you know, made choices for ourselves, we've been like, you're right a little bit.
Yeah.
But only a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we come out with being right about.
Right.
And the generation below us that says, nah, that's still wrong, though.
Listen, I think it's just, like, I think we also, like, I think this was prior, I'm sure they had seen this, and they also grew up with, like, cancel culture, but, like, I think we grew into our adulthood and our teenage, like, late teenage years in this, like, cancel culture.
Like, of influencers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, I don't know, I can't speak for you, but, like, I think I had taken on a lot of, like, the chronically online, like, type energy of,
like, the weight and
being okay with, like, yeah, like, and, like, putting that towards everybody. And it's, when we talk about cancel culture, we canceled people to the point where we, like, didn't want them to ever come back, like, shunned from society.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us thought that that was completely okay. And obviously the conversation of redemption has come into play, and that's why we all now look at cancel culture differently. But we were so okay with it at one point or another. I think similarly to that, like how we came out of that, maybe that's how things will move in forward. The future. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully. I don't know. I think everything takes its, like, turn.
Oh, the cycles are unreal. Unreal. Just feel so fucking old, dude.
Saying that shit.
Like, okay, I'm reading Everything I Know About Love. And I just got to the chapter where she's talking about turning 30, which is, like, the very end. And the way she was, I was literally getting depressed reading it. I was like,
why?
This is, like, I'm, like, 5 years from 30, but still I'm feeling, like, the weight of all of this. She was just talking about, like, the generations and how, like, you're no longer, like, allowed to be a kid who messes up, and, like, you're now an adult, and once you turn 30, there's, like, this new set of expectations. And she said one of her friends was crying on her 30th birthday saying, like, anything I do is no longer, like, a astonishing, like, achievement that I've achieved, like, young in life.
Don't.
It's, like, detrimental.
My face just, like, went, like if you could
the soul
zoom
just
in,
sucked out of you.
Literally.
She said, like, everything I do now is just like, oh, good for you. Like, that's really great. But it's never gonna be like,
you did something incredible in your 20s.
Right. Or like, oh my god, she's only 22 and she does this, and this. It's gonna be like, good, yeah, you're 35.
Unless, like, you're like 50 and you're, like, popping off on TikTok because you're 50. And that's, like, the astonishing part. But, like, yeah, no longer will, like...
I had to sit with those feelings for a minute, because
that is so fucked up.
Yeah, and it was a lot of that train of thought, and just, like, that we're no longer, like, the young kids in the room. Like, no one looks at us like, oh, well, they're the experts at that, so we need to talk to them about that. It's like, nope.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really old right now.
Like, we're no longer the experts on anything.
On the flip side, though, that there's, like, something so...
No, there's great.
It's so comforting to know that, like, you no longer have the pressure of, like, I have to be great in my 20s. You know, like...
We can give up now.
Like, it's not giving up,
kidding.
but it's, like, giving up the idea. Because I feel like we, especially, like, growing up with the building of, like, social media to what it is now, there's such a pressure to be great and do something incredible with your life at this very young age of 25. Like, if you haven't done it now, it feels like you're missing out on something. And I feel like maybe when we're 30, it's gonna be like, fucking thank God. Like, I've moved through the time that everybody expected me to maybe be great at something, and now it's just like, I can live my life in normalcy and just
It was just crazy too, because she also said, like, in her 20s, she always felt so, like, lost and in despair and, like,
oh, yeah.
like, all these feelings of, like, supposed to be achieving something. And then she's like, and now I'm 30 or what, like, I'm going to be in my 30s and it's, like, nothing's really changing necessarily. I'm just, like, another decade older. And, like, the 20s, she's like, it's crazy because I was always so stressed and worried about being something in my 20s that, like, in reality, I was doing whatever the fuck I wanted and it was great. Like, I was doing who I wanted. I was being who I wanted. And I was sleeping on, like, ugly little couches and having rats crawling in my apartment. And, like, I didn't give a fuck. Like, obviously it sucked, but there was no one expecting me to be better than that.
Yeah.
Like, it was okay to be
what you
as
were.
shitty as I was in my 20s. And now I'm in my 30s and I'm supposed to have it all together. And I'm like, so you're saying there's going to be another layer of pressure once you turn 30? Mm-hmm. So, like, I think the idea is that you're in your 20s, it's okay to not have it all figured out. No one's expecting you to. But also, like...
But also there's
you know what I mean?
Yeah. But also there's the pressure of, like,
anyway,
the fact that people are thriving in their 20s online.
This is not a topic.
Anyway.
But
God damn.
Generations, you know, that's just how that came out. But, yeah, being chronically online...
An issue that I have with, like, being chronically online... I think, okay... I guess the term was not in, like, my vocabulary yet, but I remember when we were talking about me having problems with social media and, like, having an issue with, like, not wanting to be on it anymore because I felt like if I didn't go on it, I would be, like, behind. And that's literally what Chronically Online is. It's like, I'm scared to not be chronically online because then I feel like I'm, especially as a young person, it feels hard to not know what's going on in that way.
It's like FOMO, kind of.
Yeah.
I will say Twitter's starting to give me those vibes again. Of, like...
Twitter goes in those cycles, dude.
Yes. It gives me the anxiety of, like, I'll see something, but then I'll keep scrolling, and I'll still be thinking about the thing above. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back up to that thing. And then I was like, wait, what was that thing that was making me anxious that I was thinking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just start spiraling, and I'm like, why are you anxious? Like, what did that trigger in your brain?
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, I need to keep scrolling until I go back to where I was the first time I was on Twitter. And it's like, why do I need to catch up? Like, for what? For who?
Literally
for
who?
why? Like,
who's gonna quiz you right now?
Literally, it's like, do or die, be on Twitter. And
Dude.
I'm like, you need to not.
Yeah, and I feel like with that, like, I mean, especially doing the podcast, like, we record stuff in advance just because it's helpful for our lives. And so I think it's hard to be like, up to date on everything to maybe discuss it on a topic. Or it's like, for example, like, I know this is, like, hella, like, late, like, we didn't really talk about it, but, like, the whole Michaela situation with, like, L'Oreal, like, everybody was talking about it right when it happened. I feel like you can't bring it up 2-3 weeks 4 weeks after because that shit's, like, gone. It's
cycled.
Dead. It's cycled out. It's just such a heavy pressure of, like, constantly being present online. Not even present, but just watching, being a viewer.
Literally just using the app.
Just annoying.
It makes me so anxious too when, like, anyone sends me something. Like, love it, love all my friends, love everyone. I send things
like
to
the 50 messages she has on TikTok from me.
No, but, like, those make me so anxious and I don't know why, so I just avoid them. But the problem with avoiding them is that they just build and build and build and build. Or I'm just like, oh, when it's Mel too, especially, I'll be like, is this gonna be, like, a business idea? I'm like, do I need to, like, turn that brain on? Like, do I need to be like, yeah, that's a good idea? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm also like, why do I feel the pressure to, like, even if you sent me a business idea, I could just be like, noted.
Yeah.
Like, and you'd be like, noted. Like, yeah, noted cool. That you noted it.
Thanks for saying that.
But, like, it's just so
me today. Like, I opened my Instagram app and you had sent me 9 things and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, you haven't been on it a minute.
Yeah, I was like, I literally have ignored her for this long.
I don't even remember what I sent. That's the worst part. No idea what I sent you.
Clearly not that important.
I feel like it was shopping things. It was like...
No, it was like a vibey, like, video.
Like an Airbnb or something?
No, like... Oh. Kind of like... Probably personal content type vibe. And then, like,
I can't even remember.
I don't know what else he sent me, but it was some other stuff.
It was inspo. Okay, so also,
let's first talk about Twitter because I know it's old news, but Twitter if you're not on Twitter, I'm sure you heard about it. After Elon Musk fucking bought it out, he created this like not subscription, but like I guess it's a subscription, a subscription like base thing where you can get a blue check mark on your.
Isn't it called Subscription Blue or something?
I don't fucking know. You pay to fucking have a check mark, which like I know this is probably so many people's dream because before check marks were you had to have it in,
you had to have
or
like,
you were
apply
famous.
For whatever reason.
It just creates like so many different issues for people who are in I feel like it's silly to be like there's people who need the blue check mark, but like genuinely like
people who deserve it.
Yeah, but also
that word.
But then that
too.
word also.
Ew,
I feel like it just like creates a clear, if like not everyone can get it, it just creates like there's like the bad side of like it really separates us and like makes
like,
people,
it's all divided by wealth again.
Yeah,
and
like social class. But
yeah,
if we don't do that, then there's also like the bad side where like if you're actually part of like the clique and you're like actually you have a great like a big following and somebody pretends to be you, there's nothing to like validate or to really showcase that this is who you are, verify who you are.
Bumble, I was like, what do they call that little check mark?
There's nothing to verify who you really are, so somebody could completely pretend to be you, especially if you can buy followers. I
gotta say, the pretending to be other people is going crazy in the past few years.
Yeah,
it's nuts. Yeah, buying followers.
It's scary. And like somebody who has worked really hard to
build a
I'm mostly talking about like, yes, like smaller creators who have really worked hard to create a following and like create a community can just be ripped apart from that, and all because somebody else can buy a check mark. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's different ways that you can verify things, but at the end of the day, that person who's copying can always copy the thing you're doing.
I'm sure they're gonna roll out, updates to the system of like photo ID must be presented when verifying an account or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or like true. A business, I guess. I don't know. I think there's just like with technology, things move so fucking fast that no one can keep up. And like these corporations are just making shit up as they go.
Yeah.
It's people our age and then, boomers deciding random shit, like how the algorithm should work, how pay structures, I guess, should be to be on the app, or like the shopping feature, like all this shit. We could have a whole episode on AI. Katie was talking to me about AI the other day.
AI's scary, dude.
Terrifying. We should talk about that, but I don't want to get into it because that'll be a whole other thing.
Just quickly, what is that shit called?
Deep faking?
Yeah, like when people put like
their face on someone else or whatever.
Yeah, like it usually happens in porn.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Scary.
That's exactly
scary.
So if you guys want to hear about that, let us know.
I'm extremely fascinated in that topic.
But with technology moving so fast, now Instagram has added the subscription feature, and I feel like it just comes out of fucking nowhere. Like, not to say that Instagram hasn't been sitting on this idea for a year before Twitter or whatever, but like I just feel like they're not listening to the user. Because, like, who the fuck asked for that?
Literally no one asked for that.
Like, I haven't seen a single person being like, it'd be nice if I could buy a blue check mark on Instagram. What happens to people who already have it? It gets taken away? And you have to buy it again? Oh, they probably offer, like, pre-sale type vibe.
Probably. Pre-sale. Keep your check mark.
Literally keep your check mark.
I just don't...
Does Kim Kardashian have to pay $11.99 a month for her check mark?
Probably.
Or do you think they just give it to her?
She's like, hey, can I pay for 50 years?
Dude, literally. They probably don't.
I don't know.
Because she probably gives them a lot of money on ads. They're like, we'll cover the $11.99. Don't worry about it.
Like you said, I don't know who the fuck is asking. Like, why do they think anyone's fucking asking? I think, like, are they trying to keep up with what Twitter...
Like, just the copy-paste type shit. Stories, video content. Like, everyone's just
trying to be the same. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, why can't every single app just, like, revert back to what it first became, and just leave it at that, and just leave it, just don't touch it.
I really wish we could have MySpace back.
I pray that somebody brings MySpace back, like in the way that it used to, and like a
requirement is that you have to take the photo from above your profile pic. Yes, exactly. Or a mirror,
or both.
What?
Get that.
That would be amazing. But the subscription feature, I did see a creator that I follow post like what are your thoughts on this? Like, fuck it, I think I'll just buy it at this point. And I feel like it's so annoying for so many reasons, because one, it's the same thing with Twitter about like having money, and then that equates to having verification and validation of who you are. And the other side of that, I feel like, is it just takes away from the user's experience, because once you're verified, I'm sure that comes into the algorithm of being like, oh, well, now they're top content. Like, now that's what people want to see. They want to be like,
damn, I'm like, should I buy it?
But like, that's what I'm saying. And it just like is stupid, because it takes away from people who, one, obviously can't afford it, but still are creators or want to have a social presence.
Or even just want to be genuine to
just want their friends to see their shit, and not all of the fucking influencers that they follow. So it just feels like a way of buying people's attention.
I mean,
and I hate that.
That's definitely what it is.
Because like and like, I get it from a creator standpoint. Like, you work so hard on the content you put out. Trust me, I get it. We do that, and you want people to see it, but at the same time, I don't want people to see it just because I bought some. Like, I get ads, but I feel like that's different, because it's not like just pushing your content down someone's throat, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And I guess I don't know what the algorithm would look like with the check mark, and like if you really do get put to the top of people's feeds, whoever has check marks. But it just seems like we're going in the exact opposite direction of what people have been asking for. Right.
Which is more normalcy and just...
Which, that video you sent me of the guy, I forgot his name, but you guys know the guy with the glasses.
With the glasses.
The Instagram guy. He tells you all the updates. He was saying that, like, and it made sense what he was saying, what they were trying to do originally with the algorithm. Like, they were trying to cater to what it seemed like you liked the most and give you that the most, which is like, okay, I get that, because but it's also like, my friends don't post as much as a content creator, so to you it may seem like, oh, well,
I want to see this,
I want to see that the most, but it's more like, I want to see my close friends the most, which maybe like, I mean, maybe the close friends does help, like having certain people on your close friends brings your content to the top, and like stories they put in that way, like who you interact with the most, they'll put towards the front. Chronically Online. Yeah. I don't know, man. But
it's just, it starts to feel like a heavy conversation when you feel like you have to abide to all of these like social rules now of either literally being so in it or you're out, kind of a thing.
Like, I love social media. It's so amazing. It's so helpful. It's beautiful. It's rainbows and sunshine. Or being like, social media is a trap. Like that. No?
I mean, I feel like the nuance is, I'm sure there's a lot of people, but I'm definitely the person who's like in the middle of that. But I feel like being in the middle of that, I feel so pressured to like, with like the blue checkmark shit. Like, I'm like, okay, well, if I genuinely want to start building myself as a creator, I feel like that's a need at this point to buy it, or else like I'm going to be completely out of like gaining the game and gaining what I want from social media. So it's like, I literally have to abide by the rules of what's going on or I'm out.
It's literally like a mini society. Like, the internet is a whole...
It's a whole virtual world. It's a world.
Yes. Literally.
It's its own world. Like, when we think about Club Penguin and how we used to all go on there, this is life now. This is life.
Literally Club Penguin, but not as fun.
But not as fun.
Did you play in 2020?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god. My cousin and I would have dates. And we'd jump on FaceTime and play Club Penguin together.
Were you guys like sad when it got ripped off?
Yeah.
Or like ripped out?
And then they got rid of it. I was like...
It's really cool.
My first boyfriend broke up with me on here.
A little time travel back in time.
It was so fun.
I miss Neopets a lot.
Neopets. Don't even. Webkins was like...
It was good.
I didn't have that many.
I know a lot of people thought that was like the shit, but I was like obsessed with Neopets.
I had like only 3 Webkins, so it wasn't as fun.
But it was fun.
Puffins? Club Penguin? Okay. I'm sorry. That was our generation. Anyways. I think, yeah, it's just such a nuanced topic. And if you guys have other thoughts on it, love to hear it. If you agree with us, also would love to hear it. If you disagree with us, let's chat about it maybe.
I just feel like the further we go into this social media society situation, the closer we are to these fucking Black Mirror episodes. And it's terrifying. It's like, really scary. I want to rewatch the series because like that's how real it feels.
Yeah, no, it is. Like, especially the Miley Cyrus one. Anyways,
that one and Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
the Miley episode, a lot of people like are comparing it to what's happening to Miley. I mean, to Britney Spears.
That's a whole
other like conspiracy thing. That's a whole other Chronically Online of, like knowing what's up with her.
Nope. What was I gonna say? Oh, my parents. What was like the other day? They were telling me that at a dinner party, like literally in like 2005, we were like children, that their friends were saying like, yeah, social media is going to be like the end of our society.
Yeah, and it's true.
And I'm like, so,
but also it's the beginning of a new one. So like, yes, what you're saying is true.
But like, when is the end? I guess, you know. And like, does it just like apocalyptic? What are we thinking?
Like, what should
I prepare for? What's the aesthetic? I want to get some clothes that fit it. Just absolutely kidding.
Should I get some new skins for my like avatar? No, yeah.
Wall-E?
Like that type of beat?
Like we're just
the other day I for real like watched Wall-E and I was like, this is like too fucking similar.
I think that's why my brother loved it so much.
It's so good. I love Wall-E. I'm obsessed with him. If you guys are in for a new game, I would play Dreamlight Valley on the Switch. It's really fun.
Patiently waiting for it to be free.
It's gonna be free soon, I hope. But if you want to pay for it, you get some limited edition shit on there, supposedly. I mean, I have it. I don't really think of it. But it's so fun. It's also, like, a game that kind of, like, feels like it never kind of ends.
That's
like,
nice.
Like, as, like, for, like, Animal Crossing, it felt like you get to a certain level of, like, you have everyone in your town, and now you just keep up your chores. And that's really it.
And it's also just, like, how far, like, invested are you into, like, fixing things?
Yeah. It seems like this game, they're going to really, like, branch out.
Keep building on it.
And whatever.
I also want to get the Harry Potter game.
Yeah, that's coming out soon. Not so soon for Switch, but anyway, I don't know how we got here.
I don't know. We're just
talking about Club Penguin.
Rambling.
Well, if you have any commentary on this topic of being chronically online, please let us share with us. We
DM us, comment.
We really like discussing, and this is just like a topic that literally will never end because social media is going nowhere.
I can't imagine a world without it now.
At this point, no. I mean, like, I can, but it feels so far off. Like then it goes like time traveling back into when I was in middle school.
Our parents didn't have email.
No. Literally, I think that's why I love watching shows, which like to some people it could be problematic, but like watching shows like Sex and the City. Or, like, shows that are, like, time. Literally. Like, all of that just feels so... Whether it's dramatic or not, like, it feels so safe. Because secrets could be kept. You don't have to...
Not secrets could be kept.
You could be, like...
No one's taking pics and posting it.
Yeah. You could be, like, just yourself. You don't have to do nothing else.
The amount of people getting caught cheating on stories. On Instagram stories.
That's
like, come on, babe.
Venmo? Ooh, I can't.
I caught both my exes cheating on Instagram stories in Vegas. And their cousins posted it. Wait, the synchronicity there,
dude.
Y'all are fake as fuck for that, but they were just drunk and stupid. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyways, we'll see you guys in Glowing Hour. We're gonna talk about more
social media shit.
Yeah, more in the influencer worlds.
Please leave us a good review.
Also, quick mentioning, Daisy Jones
and
the Six. Almost forgot. We do want to do a book club on Daisy Jones and the Six. We know, I believe the show just came out last week.
Did it really?
Like, our time-wise?
Oh,
when this comes out.
Last week.
I'm pretty sure it just started last week. Or, yeah.
It just started.
So, obviously, you know, if you haven't read it and you want to watch the show, but you want to read the book first, we kind of want to do that. So get the book. We'll probably do the episode in like a month. Mm-hmm. A month from now. Yeah, just noting it. Book club episode, Daisy Jones and the Six.
This one's going to be a little bit different where we compare like the show to the book. Mm-hmm. So if you're excited for that, jump in on the opportunity of reading the book. But to close up the episode, please leave us a review, just honestly comment something nice. Give us the engagement.
Say Mel's hair looks great.
I really need that.
Give us the validation tips on here. Oh, tips would be nice.
For you short-haired girlies, I guess this isn't like super short. This is like probably medium length hair, but it's a lot for me right now. Mm-hmm. And Anyway, we'll get to that.
She wants to go shorter though. It's a lot for her right now, but she wants to go shorter.
But it was nice to have you guys here and listening. Keep going at it. Keep staying tuned to our episodes. We really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know.
I wish we could have you guys here, bantering back and forth with us.
It was so fun.
We'll pretend.
But that's it for this episode. We'll see you, I guess, on Friday. Bye.